Mongolia is one of the enigmas in the world today. Remote and relatively inaccessible, it's a country which few people from the West have ever visited. For many years, this land, with its tales of horse-riding nomads and caravans of camels, had fascinated me. However, our initial approaches to make a film there met with little success, and the idea only became reality when Professor Owen Lattimore, the Central Asian explorer and Western expert on Mongolia, agreed to help us. His attachment and commitment to this part of the world spans over half a century. As our advisor, he helped us negotiate an agreement with the Mongolians. This agreement made it clear that whilst we could use our own cameraman and sound recordist, we would always be accompanied by an interpreter and a television organizer who would supervise both the subject matter and the shots we took. Since we were the first Western television team to be allowed to make a film in Mongolia, the Mongolians were anxious that we should present the best possible image of their country. The films are the result of two journeys we made with Professor Lattimore, the first in the summer of 1974 and the second in the following winter.
The Mongolian People's Republic is the size of all Western Europe and has a population of a little less than 1.5 million. And I remember one day seeing a caravan of camels loaded with wool being led into the station yards at railhead, and the camels kneeling, grunting as they kneeled, beside the railway cars, and the loads being taken directly off the camels into the railway wagons. And it struck me dramatically that here was the age of Marco Polo meeting the age of modern steam and industry. And I thought that right then that I would abandon my job and go traveling into that distant background to find out what it was all about. And I've been doing a good deal of that ever since. Mongolia stands near the center of the great zone of migration between the Hungarian plains and the plains of Manchuria and North China. Through it passed also trade routes from India, Tibet, Persia, and the Siberian wilderness, rich in valuable furs. And it was also a part of the great area in which the way of living of the horse-riding nomads developed.
Nigo. 제일 크게 시원하 다르지. 하셔야겠지가. 너로 드셔야겠지. 나시는. 그 나셔야겠지죠. 아, 괜찮다. 뭐 하루는 어떻게 돼 있고요. 또. 나 저갔다 저. 얘고 무슨 생각 쳐.
The great legend in which there is a lot of historical truth that the nomadic way of life provided for the emergence of horse-riding warriors was not peculiar to the Mongols, and it wasn't invented by Genghis Khan. The same thing existed in the entire nomadic band from Hungary to Manchuria. In warfare, Genghis Khan developed the advantages of Mongolian horse-riding mobility. The mobility of animal property of all kinds was important because the Mongols had an army which could be followed by flocks and herds and families, including the women. But it is a great mistake to think of the Mongols as primarily a warrior nation. They preferred to live in peace. There is a celebrated birch bark manuscript that was recovered in Russia, in the area invaded by the Mongols, which was written by a Mongol warrior lad far from home, and the song is in alternate stanzas, one to be sung by the son and the other by his mother. The son lamenting his separation from his homeland, and the mother lamenting that she may never see her son again. Now this gives you a sort of human insight into the fact that the conquests of Genghis Khan, which involved so much suffering for other people, also inflicted suffering on the Mongols themselves.
Experience the past like never before with History Hit's award-winning original documentaries and ad-free podcasts with our expert historians like Dan Snow, Susanna Lipscomb, Lucy Worsley, Mary Beard, Tristan Hughes, and myself, Matt Lewis. Sign up for an exclusive discount using the link in the description and embark on your historical journey from the wonders of ancient Egypt and the life of Anne Boleyn to the rise of Napoleon Bonaparte and the discovery of Shackleton's endurance. Get history wherever, whenever, exclusively on History Hit.
We then come to a long period in which the Mongol empires broke up, the power of Mongolia as a state declined, but as sometimes happened, while the state grew weaker, the ruling classes within the state grew stronger, and hence we have a long period of very, well, you can only call it vicious oppression of the people by their own nobility and aristocracy, their feudal nobility. The Mongolian Revolution began in 1921. I was not there at the time, but I was traveling soon after that in regions which had not yet been reached by the revolution. So I can say that though I never saw the revolution itself, I have seen its consequences for nearly 50 years. You might think, seeing people riding horses, milking camels, cows, ewes, goats, that this is an old nation only at the beginning of transformation. On the contrary, the people who are doing these things are also literate people who run their own collectives, which are called Nigdals. This Nigdal, Freedom Nigdal, supports 3,000 people and 80,000 head of livestock.
Kartı kadar olacak. Nerede? Nokta açık için. Açık için.
Baç çarçı, kim go baç. Zult bu adam.
Taşıt ver kabar için. Baba sen de hoca başı.
Hoş, siz de hoş.
Pastor sen de. Rahat ol. Mehmet.
Sabah kasan gittiydi göre.
Onu koy onları. Nigo soğutuk çıkar. Bitti onları bitti. Saçı versene.
Baç.
Duvar tutar çıkma. Yiyene rahat.
Sağ.
Bunu ayakta takıp takıp.
Daadikteri, yine hostus, solum, matlı git. Qolын эсвэл ямар янзтай байна уу? Одоо ингээ харцгаа. Микроскопоор. За эхлээд микроскопныхаа гэрлийг тохируулаад. За одоо харцгаа. За энэ. Энэ авчих. За босч байгаа. За ингэж хаа. За зүт. За тийм хар гэрлээ тохируулаа. Матлыг хэлнэ. Ямар янзтай маргаж байна. Дараа зурган дээр ч гэсэн харагдаж байгаа шүү дээ, тийм ээ. Ямар янзтай маргаж байна. За нүг. За манд тухайтэр гээл дээ.
Эсүүд харагдаж байна.
За эсүүд нь ямар янзтай юм байна?
Нарийнхан нөхдөд гуурсан хэлбэр.
За маш зүг. За нарийнхан гуурс нөхдөд маргаж байна, тийм ээ. За тэгэхээр энэ гуурс чи ямар учиртай вэ? Энэ нөхдөд одоо гуурстай маргаж байна гэж байна, тийм ээ. За энэ ямар учиртай вэ гэх юм гэлээ. Яагаад гуурстай нөхдөд байгаа? За нүг ингээ хэлдэ.
Энэ гуурсаар бол арган нөхөд эрдэстээс өөдөөрөө дамжиж байгаа.
За.
From the time they are 8, all the children of the collective go to the Nigdal school. Those whose camps are too far away board at school during the term.
Чиний нэрхэн гинэ? Чи ямар айлын худайл нөө? Худаа. Тэгээд худын хончин айл уу, ухчин айл, тэмчин айл ямар айл? Ухчин. Чи ухр сайд чадна уу? Чадна уу? Эний сайн. Тэгэхээр сүлээр их болсон юу хийнэ? Ямар мэрэгчл судлана? Багш.
Jeras 9 литр суусан.
Jeras 9 тэгэж үнэ бол
Үнэ жилдэн 270 литр суусан.
Хоны яма
Ямаахнаас 18, 15-аас 18 литр суусан.
гүү юу?
Гүү 60 литр суусан.
Ганны нэг жил.
Тий.
Ханы сом нэгдэл жирийн сом нэгдэл байна уу харин өөр нэгдлээс баян байна.
Манайх их баян нэгдлээ.
Баян нэгдэл. Одоо бас үйлдвэрлэнэ.
Үйлдвэр сайтай малынхаа үйлдвэрийг сайжруулсан. Таван тэрэлтээр юм байна. Өрн нэмэл ходог манайд бараг 300 дөрөм.
Тийм байна.
Тий.
Яасан уу?
Шалам.
Тэгээд юу Малос
усаар хангалтдаг байна. Тий. Усан сангууд ус хотоггүй газар усан сангууд.
In this Nigo, as everywhere else in Mongolia, the transition from the old method of pasturing animals under the authoritarian control of nobles and clergy was a transition that paid a human cost. People knew that they wanted to get rid of the old before they were quite sure about the methods of the new. And like every country that has gone through the process of collectivization, there was an early period in which the enthusiasts went too far. And this resulted not only in losses, but in some areas of Mongolia in actual uprisings, which were exploited by those members of the old society who wanted the new society not to succeed. They got over this period of excess in a famous new policy of the early 1930s, which was called the New Turn. And they restrained the extremists who were going too fast and went over to a system of persuasion and education. I know myself families which in this second period of transition held out from the collectives. But they weren't forced in. They were allowed to continue. And the real turning point was when such families found that the people in the collectives were doing better than the people who were hanging on to their private herds. This camp is part of a brigade, and a brigade is an autonomous operating unit of a collective. You can have a sheep herding brigade, a camel herding brigade, an irrigation brigade. While it is autonomous in operating its own business, it is also a unit of the Nigdal, or collective, and therefore its work and its interests have to be coordinated by the central committee of the Nigdal.
ийм одоо зориг бадрангуй ажиллаж байна. За манай оргидын хэмжээ тэргүүний сайшууд бол олон байгаа. Энэ одоо онцон ламетрж үзэх юм бол одоо онцондоо 1970 одоо 3 онд 510 хоноос 510 хургуйжуулж одоо сумын авраг одоо малчин болсон. За оргидын хэмжээр одоо 5000 орчим ийм одоо хургуйжуулаад байна. Одоо 400 шуудаа туулгаажуулж байна. 200 шуудаа ботгоожуулаад байна. За 300 шуудаа унагоожуулаад байна. За бодмолоо гэж үзэх юм бол одоо энэ баян сайр, шанд нарийн за таргилж энэ дээр одоо оторлыг гэж үзэж байна. За иймэрхүү шинжлэлээр отор нүүдлээ бол кия гэж ингэж одоо төлөвлөж байгаа. Ийм учраас ингэж одоо гарахад бэлтгэж байх, гарч байх, ийм асуулт хэрэгтэй гэж үзэж байна.
Зэрэгэлдээ сумын нутгаар отордж болох уу?
Болно гэж үзэж байгаа бид.
Every member of the Nigo draws pay according to an elaborate work points system, but he also gets a bonus for exceeding the normal production rate. I think a point about collective ownership in the Nigdals that needs to be made clear is that private ownership also continues. A man, or rather a family, can own horses, cows, other livestock. But why have private ownership at all? Because, for one thing, the people in the collectives are extremely prosperous. What they draw from the collectives is pay and their yearly share of the production, which gives them a good deal of purchasing power. The Nigdal Center is a group of administrative buildings surrounded by a village of tents. The people ride in here to buy what they need, and of course, not only do individuals come in for personal business, but the representatives of brigades and other units ride in here to consult with the central authorities about this and that. There is a school here, a hospital. The party has its own buildings and center, so does the youth league. Then there is the Nigdal shop. There is also, interestingly enough, a small distillery which produces liqueurs flavored with Gobi Desert berries and fruits of various kinds. In the winter, the salt lake close to the Nigdal center is frozen over for several months. camels are at their prime after the good autumn grazing. And this is also the breeding season in which the bull camels are in rut. They then froth at the mouth, and it is astonishing to see the way the foam freezes around their muzzles. Dark way. Tane bigger some in Richolo Migdala, Angel and I often all done the Turulsan. And the Yadwalsan. You he get Turulsan.
Mana somewhat of Orta in Kuchter Nituk. Yagatrufter Mana Namin by Woodlock, Ortane Buchasotik, Utterchatak. The Intadar Mana Namin to Horanasa, Utadaradang, Ortang or Nudik, Adarado Toktodo Tarasan, the Mana Namin by Woodlock, Natehood Murchidolish by Tahude Japson. That I get them Terun Cinder Manadol, such a list could bring. Could go to Yauch. Socialist couldn't bring to what was socialist couldn't bring could go to the mana swimming. Buch Kungam Urking, Yirin Tower Hoven Hammer. Otto Baraka, Yirin Naim Hoven Hammer. The in socialist couldn't bring could go but Mother Juhim Buch Kiswooded Band. At Ernest Ratten, Gatter trading in Ultur Tervan. За тослох үйлдвэрийн бусад салбаруудаар бол байна. За ингээд Кэсгүүдийн хурал хийж яах гэвэл социалист хөдөлмөрийн бригадууд бол хуралдаж байна. Тийм ээ. За социалист хөдөлмөрийн хөдөлгөөний амлалтыг бол жил бүрийн 1-р сарын 1-ээс эхлээд нийт байгууллагууд авна, хамт олнууд авна, хэсэг бригадаараа. За тэрнээс гадна бүх нэгдэлд ажиллаж байгаа үйлдвэрд ажиллаж байгаа бүх хүн бол социалист
The committee which is meeting here consists of the chairman, 2 deputy chairmen, the chief of the cadre, the head of the youth league, the head of the veterinary service in the Nigdal, the head engineer, and the chief of the Women's League, and the head accountant. In some ways, the accountant is one of the most interesting figures of all. When you have a revolution that is trying to take people from the Middle Ages into the 20th century, the sudden introduction of things like double entry bookkeeping is just about as revolutionary as you can get. In the old days, practically everything they produced was taken away from them either by the nobility or by the clergy. Today, everything they produce goes into the common fund of the collective, and from it they draw wages as they go along, and also a share of profits at the end. So that the great change between the new Mongolia and the old Mongolia is that in the old Mongolia there was great wealth among a few people, contrasted with utter poverty among the majority of the people, whereas today I should say that the standard of living here is higher than anywhere else in Asia that I have seen. From Freedom Nigo, it is about 80 miles to Altai, the capital of the province. The outside temperature is minus 40 degrees. The buildings are heated by underground flues running from a central heating station. The young people are urged to realize that the old skills still have value, and that the older men who know these skills should be respected, that the young should learn from the old.
Mongolia has a long, long history and a marvelously rich history. There is a chapter of it here. This is a burial ground of the early Metal Age. And these graves here are important not only to the history of Mongolia, but to the history of that vast belt of country where Europe and Asia melt into each other, Eurasia. Graves of this type spread from the eastern part of Mongolia all the way through to the Black Sea, the Danube, Hungary. The people of these mountains were at the same time shepherds, also cultivators, and workers of metal. The fact that they were cultivators is indicated partly by the way the graveyards are distributed, because there was quite a primitive science also in the selection of sites. It was carefully regulated according to where the sun rose, where the southern exposure was for greatest warmth in winter, and where water was for irrigation. This technique of irrigation is not something new. This is very, very ancient. It has centuries of history behind it. All for many, many centuries here in Western Mongolia, in little spots where there are natural oases, all through the centuries, people have done a bit of cultivation. This type of channel digging, this kind of blocking the channels with a clod of earth, has been known for many centuries. In fact, probably since toward the end of the Stone Age, there has been cultivation in little natural patches of water in the Gobi, water seeping out through the scree at the base of the mountains. And at various times in Mongol history, when there has been settled government over a relatively large area, we know even from the written sources that time and again agriculture and fruit growing and so on have been developed. Then in periods of warfare they die down, but they never quite die out. What we're seeing now really is a larger scale application under the conditions of a socialist government capable of organizing and coordinating the whole country and capable of long-range planning, a revival of these very ancient techniques in a modern form.
The maker and leader of the Mongolian Revolution, is honored in Ulaanbaatar on the 50th anniversary of the proclamation of the Republic.